today. And so we're really super excited about that. And we have some amazing speakers coming in. You guys, hasn't this been a great boot camp? Put a number 1 in the chat if you have really found a lot of value and started implementing all the action steps and have seen your business grow over the last 8 days. It has just been so incredible. I know that every single day I come on, I'm inspired by all of you guys, and I've been inspired by all of our speakers. Yesterday was like straight fire from Priscilla Allen, and I talked to her later in the day because you know, she's always like there doing something for me. And so she was telling me she had done 3 Coach Explore calls just yesterday, and everybody signed up to be a coach. I mean, it was amazing, like how you guys just like jump right on board with what we're talking about. You know, and yesterday was talking about bringing on coaching partners, and you guys did it, and we got new coaches just coming in yesterday, and that is because your leaders have put so much work into this, and it's because of them, and it's because of you guys coming on here every day. And so, you know, give yourself a pat on the back if you are here day 8 and you made it all the way through. I mean, that's amazing. Waking up, getting on here, you know, doing the action steps, because there are people out there waiting for us. People are waiting to hear from you. People are looking for answers. I remember, you know, back before I finally reached out to Priscilla, I'd go to bed every night asking Jesus, please, Jesus, help me to find something that's going to help me to get healthy. And I remember just praying that little prayer every single night. And little did I know that the answer was waiting for me on Facebook. Who would have thought, right? And so here I am now, totally transformed from the inside out. And I didn't even think that that was possible. And you guys are doing that every single day for every single person you're reaching out to. I was talking with my son-in-law, Josh, is on here today, who just signed up as a brand new coach just a few days ago. And we're talking about social media and how we can bring so much value onto social media. You know, there are people out there just like, you don't even know what their lives are like behind the computer or behind their phones. And you have an opportunity today to bless them. You have an opportunity to bring value. You have an opportunity to bring positivity. You have an opportunity to just show them that life could be different. You know, that's Jamil's logo. Think life is different. I love that he says is and not can be, because we have to think that way. It is different, right? And so when we step into that, we can change our mindset, change our lives, and change other people's lives. So yay for day 8. And we have, just like I said, we have an amazing lineup today. We're talking about dreams. And I mean, dreams, I remember like my dream was just that I could be skinny. I remember, so I had like, okay, I had a chubby girl's dream. I was like, if only I could be skinny, but eat cake. How many of you guys had that dream? Okay, no, that's a dream that's not going to come true. You know, you can't be skinny and eat cake all the time, unless it's like, you know, made with almond flour or something, but you know, it's not going to happen. But there's a lot of dreams that are coming true. And there are dreams that I didn't even know I had that are coming true, that are true for me today, that I had no idea. My son-in-law joining me in this health journey. I mean, that's a dream. Like, it makes me cry. Dang it. Just because, you know, he saw my transformation and he saw my life and how it's been changed, and he wants to join that. And he wants a piece of that because of our dreams coming true. And so today we're going to be talking about dreams. But first of all, I want to bring on my friend, Juanita Nicholson. And you guys are going to love her. Like, I met her this last retreat. We roomed together, actually in Cabo. Room together, and you guys, she is so amazing, so lovely. She is not a part of our team, but she's like our adopted teammate, and we just kind of like brought her into our group, and we just love her so much. She is amazing. She's been growing like crazy. Sure, her team is growing like crazy. I love her tenacity, you know, that she's willing to do whatever it takes to grow. And she has an amazing story, and she's going to come on right now and share. So come on out, Juanita.
Hello, can you hear me? Great. First, I just want to say, you know, thank you to your team, Kim, Priscilla. I mean, I get emotional already because they did, you know, kind of adopt me and take me under, and just take me in and just are so willing and so open. And it was amazing to meet your whole team when we were in Cabo. And I was just so grateful for that. So anytime I think about it, I just get emotional because they didn't have to do that, but they did. So I just want to come on here and, oops, I forgot to start my timer, and just share a few minutes about my story and some tips on my journey to ED, and hopefully you can take some value from that. But when I started, I had a different type of shift or breakthrough I had to have. It wasn't just about doing the work for me because of my past and the limiting beliefs that I brought along with it. So once I decided to go all in, and that was March 2020, because of the COVID and pandemic, I was like, okay, so maybe I need to listen to what my mentorship is saying about just go all in. And that's when I made a decision. I said, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do all of the steps. I'm not going to part way do it. I'm just going to go all in and do it. And that's what I did. We started probably the third week in March. And by the end of that month, I definitely felt the momentum starting. By April, it was just like, I mean, I was at coach, you guys. I was still at coach, even though I'd been coaching for 6 months. And I brought on 10 clients. So I was like, what the heck? So I knew that if I put the work in and the time, that I could do this. And within 5 months, I was at ED. So it just goes to show, power in decision. When you make the intent and the decision to step into your greatness and to dream and to do what it is that you want to do, it can happen. Because honestly, that was when I made that decision, was in March, and it took no time to get there. So some other things that I did along the way as well is stay in gratitude. I read Miracle Morning. If you've not heard that book, I'm sure it has been mentioned on many trainings, but I wake up every morning, feet hit the floor, I'm giving gratitude. It's, who can I serve today? I do a meditation. I do priming exercises. If you don't know Tony Robbins, priming exercises, but it's structure, and I'm off to working out at 5:45. But that whole hour and a half before any of that happens, I'm already thinking, how can I be better today? How can I prove what I did yesterday? So that helped immensely. As well, living above the line, always thinking there's no judgment, because it's not about me. It's about them. And when I do that, there's no fear. It's just do what I need to do and go. Getting comfortable with being uncomfortable. That's me. When I first posted my, I say, our going out, my before and after, literally I was up 5 hours prior to trying to hit that button to say post on Facebook. And it was just so scary a moment. And since I've been able to just post, I don't even look at it. I got to that point where I don't look, I just put it out there. But it's getting comfortable with being uncomfortable, sharing this opportunity boldly. So many of you already know I had surgery a couple months ago, and I stepped into the office and I saw a friend I have not seen in 2 years. I used my 90-second story. Of course, we caught up, and she told me everything that was going on in her life, set up a health assessment. She came on board. So, I mean, you just never know where you're going to be able to, but it's putting that in the forefront. Just be bold, step into your greatness. Also being crystal clear on my why. I have a lot of the mental weight loss, and so I have to remind myself every day, and I'm always pouring into myself on these trainings, being coachable, just looking for ways to improve. Yeah, so when I started the health assessment, I sucked. But the more you do, the better you get. So I had to get out there and find people to talk to. So, and that was how I just kept honing my skill over and over. A bigger thing was shedding the ego. You guys, that was me all day long. You know, when you come from, wherever I came from, you know, and I still have people that will say, Dr. Nicholson, and I'll say, no, no, no. I always tell them, call me Juanita. But it took me a while to move out of that space and to humble myself and just stay in gratitude to others. And lastly, just lean into your mentorship. They are where they are for a reason. And anytime anyone wants to pour into me, I am there. So thank you all for listening. Thank you, Priscilla, Kim, your whole team, Ceci, all of you guys. I've had opportunities to meet, even when we were in San Diego. It's been amazing, and I love you all. Thank you so much for allowing me to share today.
Wow, you guys put some love for Juanita in the chat. There were so many good things that she said in there. Did you guys catch all of that? Stay in gratitude. Stay in gratitude. That is so important. You know, it helps to keep you in that space of humility, you know, of knowing that it's not about you. You know, it's not about us. It's about them. I love that. I loved that. Be comfortable with being uncomfortable. Oh my gosh, that was so good. And shedding having a mental weight loss, you know, like when we get into this program, we think we're just going to like lose weight, right? We're like, yeah, I'm just going to get skinny, but it's not about that. Like all of a sudden we start shedding all this mental weight loss because of Dr. A's vision, and, you know, was greater than just what was going on in our bodies, but about what's going on in our minds, going on with them. How can we reach them? That's why he created the whole coaching thing with Dan Bell, was because it wasn't just about a few people. It was about all the people. So thank you so much, Juanita. You're amazing. Yay. So I'm going to go ahead and bring on out our next speaker. We have our amazing Ceci Sawyer. Are you here? You're here, right, Ceci? Yes.
Yes,
so Ceci's going to come on out, and she's going to talk about dreams, and she's going to help us to dream today. So come on out, Ceci.
Good morning, everybody. How are you doing today? Let me just put my timer because I could talk forever with this topic. I love it. So let me tell you just a quick story, okay? I've been meaning to share this story with you guys for the longest time. So in 2017, when I started coaching, somebody invited me here in the valley where we live in Phoenix to healthy happy hours. So I came over. I thought it was lovely, the community and everything. And I came, I parked, and I was part of it and moved on with my life, right? But then I went back and trying to network, because that's what we do as coaches. We're trying to expand our circle. I ended up taking a class for vision boards that was in my town, because I live like literally 50 minutes away from here. And then I didn't get anybody signed up from there, but you know what, it's okay. So I did my vision board. And when I did my vision board, I dreamed I want to have a house with this particular style. I want to have a new car by 2019. I want to have this, that. I just put it. I didn't have to worry about how it's going to happen. To be honest, we were living paycheck to paycheck, so I couldn't put a penny into my dreams piggy bank, okay? I'll be just honest. We were like through predicament. I stopped working. I was not catching the vision, even though off the vehicle, even though I was still wanting to dream. And I move on with my day. Then that was in 2018. In 2019, my mother-in-law comes to visit, and she's like, if you could only have a casita right by your house where I could move. And we're like, that's not the architecture of the area. It's not very common. We're gonna show you. We can go and look at houses so you can see this is not a thing here. And we were like, we love looking at houses and dreaming once again. So we went looking for houses, and the realtor of a house that we visited was like, why don't you just run your credit, guys? You never know if you're ready or not. We thought we could never afford the house of our dreams, of our dream at the time, because now we're dreaming bigger. So then we realized we were actually in a very good place to switch, to put our house on the market and go and buy the house of our dreams. So then we started looking for houses. We got into the house. We were all happy. Everything was rolling. When I packed my stuff, I packed my dream board. I'm like, this is a big thing. I was just gonna rip off the pictures and build it up again and move on with my day. So then I come and I move, and a month later, I message this coach, hey, I know you live somewhere around here. Could you tell me where you are so maybe we can connect again? I loved when I met you, blah, blah, blah. Little did I know, when she gave me her address, that year before that, when I came to a healthy happy hour in her house, I parked outside my house, literally outside of my house. And when I realized, I was like, oh my gosh, my dream board, it came true. And I started looking at the pictures. Oh my gosh, we just got a new car. Like everything starting line up. Guys, I know you all have computers. I know you're not techie on computers. I'm going to assume you don't need to know how they work in order for you to enjoy the benefit of having a computer, a laptop, and using it. This is exactly the same thing. You don't need to worry about how it's going to happen. All you need to worry about is you want to dream. You can dream whatever you want. We've been talking about it time and time again. Don't let reality, realistically, do not worry about what is going to happen. Okay? Like I put in my dream board that I'm going to triple my income this year. I'm going to, in my 1099, I want to see at least twice as much, up to 3 times my income that it came on the 1099 this year in January. I don't know how it's going to happen. I just know it's going to happen. But one thing also I want to tell you guys, dreams don't just show up and everything is dandy. The vehicles for your dreams are going to show up. Get ready to work. Okay. Last night I slept probably 4 hours. My daughter has been sick. But you know what? I have a dream, and dreams don't wait for you. The vehicle shows up. You got to jump on that wagon. So this, you guys being here today to talk about, listen about dreams, share your dreams, write them down, believe in it. Let Karen inspire us with what dreaming is like for big, big time. So this dream board over here, vision board, it's called vision board, but I call it dream board, is my vision board for 2021. You better believe I'm going to be updating that puppy, because everything that is here is going to happen again. I know it. I don't know how, but I'm waking up every morning to see if it's going to happen and put in the work. So I'm going to tell you, do what Juanita say, morning glory, wake up, morning miracle, get your gratitude and your affirmations going, because you don't need to believe if they work. How is it that they work? You just have to get up, get it done, and push through, because everything that you dream and more is possible through Altivia. And one thing is for sure, guys, last minute thing is I had this cup and it says happily ever after. I don't know if some of you are married, but when I entered my marriage, I said, I'm not looking back. High, hail or high waters, I'm here for the good and the bad and the ugly. I'm gonna stay here, because my marriage, my family is everything to me. So do the same thing for Altavia, your business, this vehicle, happily ever after. Through hail or high waters, hips and valleys, you are here to stay, and you believe that your dreams can happen through it, and you better believe it. We're going to be having another dream share in the future, and you're probably going to be invited to share how do your dreams come true. So guys, go out and dream, keep going, and thank you for giving me the space to share this story, because I love it.
Wow, wow, wow. Oh my goodness. That was so, so good, Ceci. Thank you so much. Like, wow. You guys put some love for Ceci in the chat. What did you guys hear? It's that creating that vision board. Put a 2 in the chat if you have a vision board in your office or in your space. Have you made a vision board? It's so important for us to have that, knowing why we're doing this. When you're an entrepreneur, you don't have a boss, which is really amazing, but then you don't have a boss. So you have to be your own boss. And so part of the way that we move forward in our business is by having that dream, that vision, and moving towards that goal. It's knowing why we're doing this every single day. It's waking up in gratitude, like Ceci said. It's doing that morning, ritual where we are able to look at why we're doing this today. Why is it that? Because a lot of times, like, it can be hard to be throwing yourself out there. We get rejected a lot, as we're like, messaging people, we don't hear back from them, or we think that they're going to get on the phone with us and then they decide not to. We get a lot of rejection. And so for us who are struggle with that, we have to really have that mindset of, why are we doing this? What is our end goal? And I loved what Ceci said, and this was a really good nugget you guys should write down, is that just stay and see what happens. I was talking with Priscilla Nelson, and we started coaching around the same time, and we were often on the phone talking to each other about, like, how we cannot believe what our lives are like now, and how incredible it is that we are able to just sit back and go, oh my gosh, like, how different our lives are. My savings account used to have like pennies in it, and now I have, like, a lot of savings because of this vehicle that's allowed me to have the things that I have. And we always look at each other and we say, we just stayed. We just stayed. We didn't know what was going to happen. We didn't know where we were going. And when you're like brand new, you're like, I don't even know, like, what's a back office? I don't even know what that is. And, but we just stayed. We figured it out. We stayed. We kept going on trainings. We stayed. We kept reaching out. When the people would ghost us, we'd reach out again, and we just stayed. And really, that is one of the keys to growing as a health coach, is just staying, and just continuing and not quitting. So thank you so much, Ceci. That was amazing. So next, I'm going to be bringing out, we always talk about how we have coach crushes, and Karen is totally my coach crush. And the reason why is I just love her because she is somebody who allows us, like, awakens potential, which is what we do as health coaches, is we awaken potential. We help people get into that space of dreaming, of seeing what's possible. Look, I'm getting like goosebumps because she's coming out. And I just love that. And, Karen is our, Jamil, who is our integrated presidential, she's his coach. And when I look at Karen, I'm like, I want to know how you're able to inspire people like Jamil. I want to know how you're able to inspire like people like Justin Avini. I want to know how you're able to inspire these people, because that's what I want to do. As a coach to my coaches, like my son-in-law, I want to know, how can I awaken that potential in him and in all of my coaches, so that they can dream, so they can create their vision board, so they can show up every day and just grow and help and serve and reach all the people that need this vehicle to get to what they want. And so, Karen, come on out, and I'm just so excited to hear from you. So welcome.
Well, thank you so much. As you're talking, I'm feeling like, whoa, I really need to step up my game here. Thank you. I am so honored, honestly, that you asked me to come on with all of you this morning. You all are so incredible. And I know I've met quite a few of you, but I kind of want to get a feel for the group. So what I'd like to know, put a 1 in the chat if you were in Cabo. And I want to see kind of where we have everybody here. So 1 in the chat if you were in Cabo. Awesome. And put a 2 in the chat if you were at Jamil's for Priscilla's team boot camp at Jamil's a few weeks back. Oh, good. This is awesome. And then put a 3 in the chat if this is your first experience with any kind of boot camp or training with Optavia or with your team or at all. Put a 3 in the chat if this is your very first experience. Okay. So, you've heard the people before me talking about dreaming. And honestly, and Cece said this too, that this is truly my favorite topic. Why is that? Because it can change everything. Really having a dream and really believing it And staying, as Kim was saying and Cece said, that's everything. Because the only way you honestly, this is really true. I've seen it. I've been coaching. It will be 12 years in November, 12 years. And the only way you will not be successful in this business is if you quit. Absolutely. That is the only way. We don't know how slow or fast you're going to achieve success. And it doesn't matter. I mean, time's going to be passing anyway. I talked to someone the other day. She was a client like 5 years ago and wanted to start coaching, and she enrolled as a coach, and she had huge dreams. But she had a couple people say no. And what happens when that happens? Gosh, this isn't working. This must not be for me. All the chatter starts in, doesn't it? And she quit. And I remembered her so well because I remembered she had really big dreams and she didn't want it. She was driving a school bus and she didn't want to do that anymore. And here she is 5 years later. And guess what she's still doing? Driving a school bus. And in fact, really worse off than she was before, because what happened last year? She wasn't even driving a bus. She didn't have a job because of the pandemic. So she really got it. And she's going in, she's all in now because she experienced what happens if you quit. So I say it doesn't matter. Just stick with it no matter what. Let your dreams pull you along. So think about this for you. I just want you to think about, say this to yourself. What do I really want? I mean, what do I really, really want? Not what I think I should do, but really, if nothing mattered and I could have, I could do, I could be whatever I wanted, what is that for you? If something comes to mind right now and you haven't written it down, write it down. Because sometimes these thoughts come in quickly and then they're gone. I don't know about you guys, but that happens to me. And so write it down. What is it you really, really want? Most of us play it so safe. We keep it really comfortable. We stay too close to the ground. And too often, we do not give ourselves permission to soar. What does soaring look like to you? It's really time to start focusing on possibilities rather than on limits or obstacles. And isn't it so interesting how our mind often goes there to limits and obstacles? It can sound something like, Karen, but you don't understand. I'm in a really small town, or no one can afford this, or I'm really, really busy, or I don't want to sell to my friends, or fill in the blank. We have a ton of reasons, don't we? And we always seem to go to the things that don't serve us. Why do we do that? Because you know what? We get to choose our thoughts. We get to choose our thoughts. This is so important. It sounds so simple and you go, oh, yeah, I know. But do we? Often not. We allow our chatter to choose our thoughts. So as you're listening to or you read about stories of success from other coaches, what happens in your head? Where do your thoughts go? Do you ever feel the chatter start? And you don't need to comment. You can just blink if this is you. Do you have the thought like, oh man, no way could I be as successful as they are? I mean, Priscilla Allen, she can just talk to anyone and she's so outgoing and she's really a great trainer, and Kim and Priscilla Nelson and Cece and all the people that have been leading your trainings. Do you ever have the thought like, oh, I couldn't do that? Trust me, most every one of us didn't think we could do it either, but we did it anyway. So when you say, I could never do that, I say, really? Why not? Is it true? Is that true? That's the first thing you want to ask yourself. Could you do it if you wanted to? Of course. You're truly one decision away from a totally different life. Remember, your thoughts become things. So shift your thoughts to thoughts that serve your goals. Think big. Think big. When you're writing down your goals and dreams, do you play it safe or do you stretch? And this is a really good a really good example that I use. So when I'm writing down my goals, it's like, do they kind of make me sweat and take my breath away? Or I kind of go, oh man, I don't know. If you kind of have that feeling, then continue down that road. If not, I'd encourage you to revisit and really, really stretch. Remember, you don't have to believe it now. Just be bold and write it down and be as clear and specific as you can be. If you said pay off debt, how much are you paying off? If you said bring my spouse home, how much do you need to earn to do that? If you said say I want more savings, Kim was talking about that earlier, how much do you want in your savings? The more clearly you can define your goals and dreams, the more attached you are to getting there. And as you know, your mentors will show you exactly what to do. Not only can you have whatever you want, you don't even have to do it alone because we're all here to help you along the way. So we show you what actions to take, and all you have to do is what? Do it. That's it. That's all that's left to do. If your actions that you have in place are not going to get you to your goal, increase your actions. I loved what Cece said. It's so true. She said, I really sucked at doing health assessments when I started. So did I. But isn't this cool about our business? If we really suck at something, we can learn how to do it better overnight. Like today, you're going to learn some tools. Every day you learn tools that you can put in place immediately. It's not like it's going to, oh gosh, I'll be able to implement this next month. No, do it immediately. We really want to let our desires lead and guide us instead of being boxed in by our perceived, keyword, perceived constraints. And that's what it is. If you thought for a second, no way I could ever do that. Really? Why not? You can do whatever you want. You can do whatever you want. So this is so important in dreaming big. Don't limit your desires to what you think you can have. What I often see is that our current dreams usually fit into our current paycheck. Probably no one in this group has ever done this. Plain safe like that, right? So, and what that might look like, and I had a conversation with a coach the other day, and I'll share it with you. And one of her goals was she wanted to remodel. We were working on a structural tension chart. If you haven't done that, get with your mentor and do this. It's really powerful. So that's what we were doing. And I said, what's your goal? She goes, well, one of my goals and dreams is I want to remodel my house. It's like, awesome. And we talked more about it. She talked about what she wanted to do with her house and all the things. And I said, when do you want to start it? And she said, well, we've already started it. Well, then she was doing that with or without her Optavia income, right? So she was playing it safe within the parameters of what she knew she could do. Don't do that. You got to stretch because you are not going to be pulled along to your dream if you already know that you can do it. So start going after what it is you really, really want. And you may have to give yourself permission to dream. So many of us have totally either forgot how to dream or we've never really learned how to dream because we never thought it was possible. We have thought that we are where we are. Here's my life. This is it. This is what I have to look forward to for the rest of my life. No. So I'm giving you permission to dream. Take risks. Set yourself really free with what it is that you really want. Do not settle for anything less than that. As we know, it is often easy to settle, right? With our health too. Well, I wanted to lose 50 pounds, but I've done pretty good. I've lost 30. I'm okay. Well, I really wanted to earn $10,000 a month, but gosh, I'm earning like 2. I'm happy with that. I'll just stay where I am. Really? No, don't take the easy street. Set a new standard. Set a new standard for yourself. Don't settle for mediocrity. You have to give up some of your old beliefs and move beyond some of the sensible, don't you love that word? Sensible, don't be sensible. Some of your sensible thinking patterns. What are some of your sensible thinking patterns? Oh, that's good enough. We're comfortable. That's what I used to say. Oh no, we're good. We're good. We're comfortable. Life is comfortable. Ugh, Really? What does that mean anyway? Or maybe it's like, well, we have enough to get by. We're good. We're okay. We can pay our bills. Really? Is that what you want to live your life for? To make enough money to just pay your bills and wait for next month so you can pay those bills too? No. This mindset puts a ceiling on how far you can reach or how high you can fly. And where did these limiting beliefs or scarcity thoughts come from anyway? Often our parents, our grandparents, family, the way we grew up. Many of us with sensible thinking patterns came from what we heard over and over as kids, right? When you think back to growing up. So funny how we just take it on and pass it on to the next generation. You want to know what the secret sauce is to your dreams coming to reality? Get into action. Everything around you changes when you actually take action to go after what you really want. Huge goals that you might not think are possible right this minute, break them down with action steps and get into action and go through each one. It will happen. Sometimes, haven't you found this to be true? It's like, well, to me, I can use the example of walking into our garage. Like, I'm going to clean the garage today. And you walk in and you go, oh, maybe not today. And you turn around and walk out. Sometimes our goals and dreams can be the same. Whereas if I just would take one little box at a time, go through it, pretty soon the whole thing's done. Okay? Same with our dreams and goals. Take one little step at a time. I mean, think about this. All of us have had something in our life that we really, really wanted, in or out of Optavia, it doesn't matter. We really, really wanted it. And what did we do? Did we make a decision to go after it no matter what? No matter what. There was no stopping us. And we were in action until we had the desired results. Just like a child, that's what I think about, like our kids. Mom, I want an ice cream cone. No. Mom, I really want an ice cream cone. No. Do they go, okay, that's fine? No. They have a desire to have an ice cream cone, and they are going to continue to be consistent and persistent until what? Fine. Here. Well, it's the same for us, for our goals. Persistency and consistency, so we can truly have what it is we really, really want. Wishing and longing and wanting and hoping, none of these are going to be the same as actually pursuing your dreams. They can be really great in designing your dreams as to what you really, really want, but they are all passive. They're all passive. Wouldn't it be nice if we could? Yeah, it would be. So what are you going to do? What action are you going to put in place to make it happen? When you pursue what you want, you get into action, and that is when the magic happens. And most people confuse wishing and wanting with pursuing. And your desire for your dream may feel really, really deep. But when our desire fails to produce, we often come to the conclusion that, well, I guess this dream isn't going to happen for me. It wasn't meant to be. And what's really sad about this is often this happens quickly when people aren't committed and they haven't really made a strong commitment to their dreams and goals. So if we think, gosh, this isn't going to happen for me, it wasn't meant to be, really? But what do we often do when we're feeling like that? We often give up. We quit. We go back to being mediocre and comfortable, or we just make do because that wasn't going to happen for me. When I was given this gift of Optavia in 2009, it took me a while to realize what I really had in my hands. It started out like, I'm sure with many of you, a system to work on my health, and then decided to pay it forward to help others do the same. It was about 4 or 5 months into coaching, I was earning an executive director income, and it started to be clear that this is an income that had no limits. But you know what? I didn't even get my CAB bonus. I was just kind of I was just kind of waiting for people to call me because I I thought they might do that. But as we say, Oprah is not calling. We have to reach out. So while my husband and I had always accomplished a lot, we were always limited by the fact in dentistry, we only earned a living when we had our hands in someone's mouth. Isn't that a lovely thought? So this is a totally different model. I could clearly see how we could leverage our time. And this is when we really started dreaming big and started writing down what we wanted. Lines on paper, structural tension chart. This is so important. Write down what you want. Don't just write it down and not know where it is. Visit it daily. Have it in front of you. Read it every morning. Read it every night. Read it when you feel frustrated. Read it when you think, oh my gosh, I'm so tired. The kids are up, the this, the that, all the things. Read it again. Some of my husband's and my first serious conversations about what could be possible, we would have in a restaurant. And we did napkin dreaming way back then. And I mean, it's like, oh yeah, we don't want to forget these. So pull out our napkin and started writing. And sometimes those types of conversations, things come up that you might not think about in other times when it's just the two of you talking and things are without any other distractions. So if you have a partner that you do this business with, or even if you don't do this business, I'm really the coach in the family. Merv is supportive, but we dream together on the things that we want. So some of our initial dreams were we wanted to be debt-free and stress-free. We wanted to pay off our home. And as time went on, our dreams grew. Once again, they start little because it's hard to imagine that some of these things are even possible. We wanted total financial freedom, retire without worry. We didn't want to be on the retirement for less plan. We figured we'd be 90 before we could retire with what we had saved in our retirement. We wanted to impact others with their health and finances so they could achieve their dreams and desires. That was huge for me. We wanted to create scholarships to assist students, have the unlimited opportunity to share with others that were struggling financially and had no other means. We wanted to leave a legacy for our children and grandchildren. And I'm a new grandma and our first grandbaby, and she's just a month old. And so it makes it even more clear. And great grandchildren. We wanted to buy a beach house to share and enjoy with family and friends and clients and coaches and have events there. We wanted our daughter to have the wedding of her dreams. We wanted freedom to travel the world 6 to 8 weeks a year or whenever we felt like it and take friends along with us if we wanted to. And I can tell you, all of these dreams have become reality. Why? Because we were focused. We have dreams that honestly stretch what we really believe can happen. We don't let our opinion or chatter keep us from moving forward. We write them down and pursue them with passion. Is there ever chatter? Yeah, of course. Did we question? Yeah. Did we have thoughts like, this is really crazy. I mean, can we really do this? Yeah, that's how we knew they were big. As I said earlier, if they don't take your breath away, then they're not big enough. I love thinking in terms of your yearly income becoming your monthly income. Oh, how many of you kind of gasped at that, saying that's even possible? I can tell you it is possible because that has happened to me. Did I think it was possible? No. And I think it's important to know that if you have a significant other and you're dreaming together, you'll have dreams that you have together. You're going to have dreams that you have separately that are important to each of you. Or maybe one of you is a bigger dreamer and the other is more play it safe, sensible one. And that's okay too. Don't let that derail you from what you want. They just might not be where you are yet, and that's okay. And don't be attached to them having the same dream or vision as you. We're different people. Just keep moving forward. I say light yourself on fire and they're going to come watch you burn, right? Inspire. That's what you want to be. You want to be inspirational by your actions. Like, whoa, this is really interesting. Wow, maybe I need to take a second look. Oh, you mean I could come home from work too? I don't really like my job, this looks like this could, I just thought it was a little thing. This is how Merv and I, my husband and I, were as we were dreaming. He'd say, oh, we can't afford that. We can't afford a beach house. I just smile and say, okay, and continue to dream with passion. And guess what? He really, really loves our beach house. And he thanks me all the time. We were just talking about this last night. He thanks me all the time for not letting his scarcity mindset derail me for what I wanted for us. So think big. You've heard me say dream with passion. I feel that passion is such an important part of the process. It really fires the soul and fills our spirit, energizing to me our whole being to a higher plane of performance. Passion also keeps you going when you're hit with challenges and uncertainty, which we all have had a lot of that over the last year and a half. And I think this is so true. What we do makes us a better person in every part of our life. This is not just an Optavia thing. This is a life thing. This allows us to have freedom in every area of our life and look at things differently. And when you have a desire for so much and to help so many, things just flow to you differently. I've seen it over and over, and I love this so much. So I feel like my passion is stronger than ever. So what do? We fuel this passion with our vision and our dreams. Those things that are important to you and worth caring about. Give yourself permission to pursue what you want most. Please, please, please set your sights far above the reasonable or sensible target, because your inner drive has got to be strong enough to carry you past the point of wishful thinking. Does that make sense? Your dream will drive you to action. That's why you want to look at it and read it and know it all the time. Otherwise, it can get lost in the daily muck and mire of your life. It's so easy for it just to things keep piling on it, right? You've got to do this, you've got to do that. Like at the end of the day, it's like, pull out your dream, and then you're going to feel inspired. Jim Rohn said your ability will grow to match your dream. Don't let your past dictate your future. Be a chain breaker. You want to recognize that each of us is the author of our own thoughts. Did you know that? We are the author of our own thoughts. What happened to us this morning, yesterday, last year, it does not need to dictate our tomorrow. We must allow ourselves to explore the endless possibilities of our own dream building. Learn to fill your mind with only those thoughts of what we want to happen in our life. Did you hear what I said? Learn to fill your mind. This is something that is a learned behavior. You can get rid of the chatter by acknowledging when the chatter comes up. And I did this over and over and over. And it totally, from experience, I can tell you. So when something comes up, chatter comes up that doesn't serve you, I like to use stop, challenge, choose with that. So stop and go, isn't that interesting how that thought is trying to get into my head, that chatter? Now you're going to challenge it. Is it even true? Is it true? 99.9% of the time, it is not true. You're making it up. That's a cool thing. We're making up thoughts anyway. So why would we not make up thoughts that serve us? Now we get to choose a thought to replace that thought with. Now we get to choose a self-serving thought to replace the thought that doesn't serve us. So do that. Every time a thought comes up, I can promise you this. This is a really great exercise. If you do this, stop, challenge, choose with your thoughts, every single time a thought comes up that doesn't serve your goals, no matter what, for any part of your life, what will happen over time is your mind totally switches it to a self-serving thought with you not having to even think about it. You're going to find yourself speaking in terms of, and you're going to start listening different to people. Kim talked about how to inspire. Be a really great listener. Be a really great listener. And learn how to listen to people and feed back to them what they said. And be very bold. Like, is that thought serving you? That's what I say to people. How will that's really interesting. How will that serve you? So learn to fill your mind with only thoughts of what you want to happen in your life. Right now, in this very moment, you are capable of improving your performance exponentially. Isn't that cool? You have everything it takes to hit new heights, help more people, totally break through your previous achievement goals. This last week, I know this is the last day of your boot camp, you've had incredible training with incredible leaders. You have everything at your fingertips. For some of you, the results you can have are hard for you to even imagine. So you have to believe it until you see it. Believe it until you see it. Many of you are experiencing breakthroughs now and during this boot camp. So you don't have to settle for things as they are now or how they've been in your life. I didn't. In fact, when I first saw the income disclosure, I really didn't believe that I could earn more than $2,000 a month. But guess what? I changed my story and told myself the sky is the limit. I discovered firsthand that with your decision, goals, and dreams, it can change dramatically. If you're ready and willing, are you? Do you know if you're ready, life is truly prepared to give you a breakthrough experience? How cool is that? You can jump to a higher level of achievement. You can live your dreams. You can enjoy a totally different plane of success. And you know what else? You do not have to contend with improving things incrementally or gradually. Just as your level of performance can improve drastically, so can your rate of accomplishment. I know many of you have experienced this very thing. And so right now my dog is looking at me through the window outside and barking. So whatever. So I can say you still have not been reaching your full potential. That's right. You have not. And you know what? You haven't even come close. I haven't either. No matter how you wish to measure success, regardless of you and regardless of how you define achievement, every one of us here have barely scratched the surface of what you can personally accomplish. How is that so amazing? So what can you do to create a dream? I'm going to share some things with you that were helpful for me. And know this, it's an ever evolving process. You'll become more clear on exactly what you want as you work on it. You don't have to know how you're going to get there, but you need to know where you want to go. You want to have a crystal clear picture of what you want to accomplish. Sometimes we get stuck here because it's hard for us to think about what we want for ourselves. Sometimes the shift comes when you think about how your freedom can help other people. Create a mental picture of the outcome you want to achieve. Visualize your arrival there. When you do that, solutions begin to appear and answers start to come to you. You can begin to clearly see how to create the action steps to get you there. We often get shut down on the how. Cece talked about this regarding our dreams. I can promise you that the answers and steps to get there will come to you. And you certainly have your mentor resources to help you. Here's the key. Don't get in the way. All you need is an aiming point, an action. And guess what? Sometimes it gets messy in the middle, and that's okay. If you send a rocket toward the moon, do you know that 90% of the time of its time, it's off course? It fails its way to the moon by continually making mistakes and correcting them. This is what I know. If I can do this, everyone listening can do this. Your dreams are your future. Do you want to create a life of abundance or a life of just enough to get by, scarcity? It's just a decision, you guys, to jump in and pursue with passion what it is you really, really want. My passion is to help you get what you want, not because of the money. I have plenty of that. It's because that is what sets my soul on fire. What sets your soul on fire? Use your gifts. You have so many that have never been opened. Use your gifts. And now it's time for you to do something with your gifts. Claim them, reach for them, and use them. This unused potential that you have is truly just waiting to play a role in your greatness. If you wait until you can get it perfect, you'll never get it at all. Everything is here for you. We're just waiting on you. So just do it. That's all I got, Kim.
Oh my gosh, I told you guys. I told you. She is amazing. You guys, she's just so amazing. You guys put some love in the chat for Karen. There were so many good things that I wrote. I wrote like 5 pages of notes because this is the piece that we need to hold on to as we're moving forward every single day. This is the piece, this dream, and I spoke before about how, the biggest dreamer in our organization is Dr. Anderson. He is a visionary. He's a dreamer, and he had a dream, and that's where we all came from. We are an extension of Dr. A's dream. He was a successful cardiovascular surgeon. You guys know the story. He was running his business, making tons of money, but he wanted more. He knew that there was more. He had more potential than what he was doing. He wasn't satisfied, and I heard him say he never got anybody healthy. He just made sure they didn't die. And that's not what he wanted to do with his life. He wanted more. And so he decided that he was going to quit what he was doing, and he was going to dream a humongous dream. And like, he lived on credit cards, you guys. He did it all. He did all of that because he saw the potential that he could have. He saw the dream that he could create, and he saw all of us out there doing this. And so from that one dream came us. And from your dreams is going to come even more people. We are just like going ahead of the people that are coming behind us. There are so many people that we're going to inspire, that we're going to help dream, that we're going to awaken that potential. Karen said, so many of us live in that scarcity mindset, that comfortable paycheck to paycheck. I'm fine to where I'm at right now. As long as I could just keep paying my bills, I'm fine. And you guys, that's just not good enough. I said the other day, a tree, we're the only creature on the planet that does not live up to its potential. A tree doesn't stop growing, right? It doesn't like get halfway and go, well, this is good enough. This is good enough for me. I don't need to grow anymore. No, as long as the tree is alive, it will keep growing. And that's where we need to be. We need to have that growth mindset of, as long as we're alive, we're going to keep growing. We're not going to stop. So I have some action steps for you guys as we end our boot camp. And these are not like just to do today. Okay. So I'm going to give you some big action steps. And this is to do over the next, the rest of the week and even into the weekend as you have more time. So the first action step that I have for you guys is napkin dreaming. You don't know what that is. Once upon a time, there was a group of people at a restaurant, and Jamil asked them to dream what they wanted to dream, and all they had were their napkins. So they got their napkins out and they wrote down their dreams. And a lot of the people in this group were there, and they've shared with you how those dreams have come true. And so what I want you guys to do is, you're going to napkin dream. And I loved what Karen said about, napkin dreaming with your spouse, or your partner, like whoever you have in your life that you are doing this with, whether you're the main coach, I'm the main coach in my family, but I dream with my spouse. I dream with Chris. And we both came from a scarcity mindset. Like, that's what we were born into. Chris grew up with a single mom, and they just scraped by. And he grew up with the phrase, we can't afford it. We can't afford it. And that is one of the main things I've heard him say during our whole marriage is, we can't afford it. We can't afford it. And trying to help him to dream past that I can't afford it. That's what we need each other for. That's why we napkin dream together. And we've gone out to eat, and we've done this more than once, because getting past that clay, getting past those mindsets that we have from the time when we're little, we're born into, doesn't just take 1 second sometimes. Sometimes it takes, the scraping and the scraping and the scraping to get it off, because it's been so ingrained in us. And so we've dreamt, and then we dreamt again, and then we dreamt again. We have like 20 napkins, you guys, because we kept dreaming bigger. Our first dream was like, oh, well, we'll be able to save a couple $1,000s in our bank account. And then we did that. And then what? And then what? And then what? And now we're dreaming bigger and bigger and bigger dreams. So your first step, napkin dreaming. Second step, vision board. You guys, the vision board is one of the key things. When you can see what you want and you can visualize it every single day, it helps to propel you forward. Karen said, your dream will drive you into action. Those vision boards are going to drive you into action. It's really simple. If you don't know how to do a vision board, go on Pinterest and type in vision board. I have a whole board, just ideas on how to do a vision board. So, just go on Pinterest or go on Google or whatever and just type in vision board, and you're going to get tons and tons of ideas on how to do that. All you need is like a big poster and some magazines. We've all got magazines lying around. Get some magazines, go to Barnes and Noble, pick some up, and create your vision board. So that's number 2. Number 3, okay, this is a good one. I want you guys to go onto your Facebook pages today, and I want you to click on friends, and I want you to scroll through your friends, and I want you to look at the faces, and I want you to really look at all of those faces, not just names. These people are not just names. These are the faces of people who need you. These are the faces of people who are dying for somebody to reach out to them, to share with them that there's more than what they're experiencing today. That the life that they're living right now is not the life that they have to continue to live. And you guys are the key to that. Priscilla, she dreamed for me when I couldn't dream. I was just a little picture on her Facebook page, and she dreamed for me, and she prayed for me. And I finally reached out to her after, all those years of her thinking about me and praying for me. And that's the whys that we're out there for. We are out there to serve those little pictures of people. That's who we're serving every single day, whether in your Facebook page or you've got Instagram, whatever. I want you guys to look at the faces of the people that need you. Okay. And number 4, suspend all fear and thinking and go. That's what Jamil always tells us, suspend all fear and thinking. So much fear gets put on us, and we allow ourselves to live in that story of fear. And it keeps us from living our dreams. It keeps us from helping others to create their dreams. It keeps us stuck in a swirly space of not moving forward and not creating action in our life. And so suspending all fear, and he says the F it factor, right? I love that, because it's like, just F it, go do it. Who cares? Who cares? Like, I have people saying like, oh, are you doing that pyramid scheme thing? The pyramid scheme? I'm like, okay, sure. And you know what? I want to be buying a lake house in a couple of years. And you know what else? So is the person that I'm helping. And so is that person that she just got on as a coach. And so is that person. We're all living our dreams. Yes, it's amazing. And don't you want to know more about it? Because it's freaking amazing, and we're changing lives. So, who cares about what other people think? We know what we do. We know who we're changing. We know those clients who are having mind shifts. Suspend all fear and thinking and go. So you guys, thank you so much for joining us the last 8 days. We love you guys. This is why we do this, is for you. Why we spend all this time as your leaders to put this forward is for you guys. You guys are our dream. You guys are here because we dreamed big, and we're still dreaming. We have, 28 people on here today. We have all kinds of people who are going to watch Karen. I'm going to be rewatching Karen more than once. And that's our dream for this team. That's our dream for all of you. And you guys go out there, make these dreams possible. You guys can do it. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Bye.